Good evening and welcome to the Laughing Monkey Music Show. Today I'm Paddy. Paddy is from the O'Reillys and Paddyhats. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you, Sean. Yeah, I'm really happy to be here tonight or for
Oh,
you in the middle of the day, right?
right. Where are you? Are you in Germany?
Yeah, in Cologne, Germany, western part of Germany. Yeah,
So I'm excited to talk to you because there's been some changes in the band. Sometimes change can be scary, good, bad, indifferent. It seemed like actually from the band's own perspective, it was a darker time before you kind of came on and you guys kind of gelled. So people that aren't aware, um, the original singer had left, and then Patty had come on, and quickly and quite well, proficiently, was able to join the fold and keep the machine going because you guys are a live band.
absolutely. To be fair, I knew them lads beforehand because I was playing as in another folk band as some few support shows in 2018.
Mhm.
So and we're from more or less from the same area, so they invited me,
Okay.
and it was yeah, on first sight it was sad that Sean is coming back.
Yeah.
So I was just like filling in the blank spot. So as a substitute more or less. But after half a year, I guess, he didn't return at all, or it was clear that he would return. And then the band asked me if I want to join them as a full member, if you will. Um, yeah, and as you said, we are a live band, and therefore I'm really grateful that I had the opportunity to join them.
I've seen some of the new videos. The music doesn't miss a beat, literally. Like it's not like who is this? You know what I mean? You guys are still just rocking on. You know what I mean? It's good songs. It's great. I mean, your voice fits perfectly with the band. Um, it's always amazing to me the first time I heard this band and then learning that it wasn't actually an Irish band. Everyone's from Germany. I'm like, what? I go, I'm more Irish than everybody else. Man.
Oh, that's a
That,
huge compliment. Yeah, and thank you
yeah.
for saying that my voice fits the general style. Because as you said, changes can be
Hmm?
scary, and it is. I think it is especially in a way scary for many people, for many fans out there. If a band says we're going to change the singer, it can be hit or miss. And I mean, even today, some people that are used to Sean's voice, they still kind of want him back. And but I don't blame him. That's perfectly fine to me, because it's yeah, everybody feels different about the voice or what dragged them into Paddyhats at first place, So
Exactly. You never gonna get past the first singer for Van Halen or Sammy Hagar or the first AC/DC. Like it's
true.
just the story of the world. You know what I mean? The first person, it's like your first love for some people. And some people are like, I could date a lot of people. I'm fine with voices. And some people don't like change. Um, but to me, your voice is great with the band. Clearly you're a seasoned musician, so you can be able to step in. I mean, Sean being the original person, the leader, and a lot involved with it. Yeah, I know he did a lot of other stuff too in video. So, but you coming in and having a relationship prior to them and coming right in like this and having the same kind of background, the albums you guys have done together are, I literally just, it's amazing actually. Like, because when I first heard, I didn't even know the singer change actually. Because I don't always pay attention to everything. I was, oh, new album. And I'm listening to the album and I'm like, wait a minute. I go to the page and listen to it because I could hear some difference. But like the music didn't feel like it was like a big hit to the band. You know what I mean? And sometimes when a main songwriter leaves, it's a huge difference. You know, to this point, it was just the band sound the same. It was just like another. And I actually like your voice kind of. I like the raspiness of the voice. Usually more than a cleaner voice. So I like your voice. I think better, but I usually prefer vocals like yours over cleaner voices. I'll say it
Okay.
nicely.
Yeah, same here. Me too. So
So it's not a bad thing. I mean, I enjoy Sean's vocals, but I really enjoy the gruff of your voice. It feels more meaty in a song, toothy. You know, um, coming in from where you were before and doing some folk stuff, was it a huge difference joining? Was it the same size band? 'Cause I don't know about folk bands. Folk bands are different sizes. And I don't know a lot about the songwriting process because you do obviously cover folk songs, but you do your own songs infused. Was it a similar situation earlier before you came in?
Yeah, I've always been a songwriter, I think, since my first proper punk show that I saw with I don't know 14 or 15, and back then I was doing piano lessons,
Oh, wow.
and but my father he always used to play guitar, and I was when I was young I was sitting in his guitar case and listening to him sing, and and then I saw this. It was a small festival in my hometown in Cologne, and I saw it was a ladies only festival, female only festival. And I was like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to be on that stage. It's like it was in a
Yeah.
small, uh, I don't know, I would know the term in English actually. It's like where young people can gather. It's like some community stuff. Um, so a small, really small punk rock show, and I was like, yeah, I want to do this. And then my father, yeah, he gave me his old. He learned it by a book from a German. Yeah, he taught me my first chord, and then he said, "Okay, yeah," and he didn't expect me to yeah
Make a
really
career.
get into guitar, and but then 1 year later, I stood at that exact stage. But okay,
Wow.
so long story short, I've always been a songwriter and always been fascinated by songwriters. So it wasn't that hard to me. And yeah, I was raised with Rolling Stones and the Dubliners, so um and some Norwegian music because my I'm not of Irish descent or something like that, but my grandma she's from
Right.
Norway, so um a wild mixture already. And I always loved to listen to the Dubliners, and then
Hmm.
when I got older, as I told you, I got more into punk rock music, and therefore, I think the first band that really did the job for me was Flogging Molly, and it's a bit weird because I mean,
It feels like they are the gateway drug for a lot of bands of this genre.
yeah, exactly, and but most people start with the Pokes, so but the Pokes came afterwards,
Okay.
and then Dropkick Murphys, and so it was great for me. The folk band I played in before. It was five piece folk band, and
Mhm.
you can say like folk rock in a way, but we didn't have any
Okay.
electric instruments except the bass. So but it wasn't that hard to me. I mean, it's always like this huge variety of instruments that
Hmm.
you do in a folk band, and with
Yeah.
this Celtic punk stuff, you just push the guitars a little bit and a little bit more distortion, maybe a little faster, and but in the heart of Celtic punk is still folk in a way. So
I think I get the folk thing, and it to me it always feels like, and you can correct me, that Europe is a lot stronger in having more family, but basic, a wider array of stringed instruments than probably USA is. I mean, it's like it's this folk. I know some bands that are folk and it's awesome, but it's not as strong as families having a tradition. Like, it feels like Europe, a lot of different countries in Europe have their own folk traditions with a lot of different stringed instruments that a lot of people haven't heard of, whereas that's not as common elsewhere. So it does translate regardless of Germany, Ireland, whatever. There is that common language, um, except for the Irish German language, which is a little different. You know,
yeah.
is it is there a big community that the Celtic kind of comes into Germany and other countries like that? Is it like a bigger thing where it's kind of naturally everyone's kind of into it more, or is it a smaller
I
niche
would.
thing?
It still is a niche thing, I would say.
Yeah.
In As you mentioned, I think that the spirit of this family folk tradition in Ireland is, of course, is still alive. It's not that
Mhm.
strong in Germany. Um, it used to be back in the day more like this, but I think it yeah got a bit extinct in a way. So,
Yeah.
um, but our whole genre is still a niche thing. where you can explore so many bands, and that's what I really love about even today. You know, there's so many
Right.
bands that I haven't discovered yet, and I love that this Celtic punk thing is a thing all over the world. It's like
Hmm.
all comparable to all the Irish expats. I mean, there are like Irish pubs everywhere in the world. You know, at the end of the world,
Yeah.
you can find an Irish pub, I would say. So that's a good song
A
title, I
good
think.
thing. Is it surprising, or is there any other people? I keep me the only person that's been surprised. Like so, like Germany is it odd for people that you're doing it Irish? Like, are they like, oh, okay, or is it because like or in Ireland when they go, oh, you're German, or like you do Irish better? You know what I'm saying? Like, is or other countries does it surprise other people too? Like, because I know like in America, if we do something that's not normally what you do, um, at this point, if it's part of a community that knows them, it's not a thing. But sometimes people be like surprised because anything is different. Oh my God, a big thing. But Europe looks at things differently also, I think. So like, is there a difference for different countries and different people accepting it and just digging it, or is it just like a thing, not even a thing?
I would say, yeah, when I talk about the band to people who ask me what I do
Hmm.
in my life and whatever, um, I would say that most of them have never heard of this genre.
Really?
And when I start to explain it to them, and I say like, hey, it's like Dropkick Murphys vibe kind of music, and they
Yeah.
say, oh yeah, yeah, this is roasted too. Yeah, I know that. Okay, that's yeah, okay, that's Irish, and I think they know some traditionals, but without knowing
Right.
that they're traditionals. One good example is the football or this the soccer club here in Cologne. Their anthem is based on Loch Lomond on the Scottish song. And not many people know it. So,
Yeah.
but to come back to your question, I would say that there are, especially in Europe, there are many like hotspots or hot countries for Celtic punk, like Hungary, France, Spain,
Okay.
or some like Galicia, like this. Really with this Celtic tradition. Of course, and Brittany and in France, these are deeply rooted to still the Celtic
Hmm.
heritage. So it's way easier for them to keep the spirit alive in a way. But I mean, it's an honor to us. Last year we could travel 16 different countries in Europe. I mean, we never been overseas. We never been to the States yet. I hope this is
Someday.
gonna change. I
Yeah.
hope so, yeah. Um, and we've never played in Ireland actually, but we've just been there
Really?
on occasion. Yeah, we never. There were, I don't know, one or two offers, but it didn't work out. I don't know why. I can't recall, but last year it was quite interesting because we were touring with Ferocious Dog in the UK.
Yeah.
Actually, it was just England because the only the only gig that would have made it UK and Wales got cancelled, but but it was a UK tour anyway. So and we were really excited because we never played a real tour in England, and
Right.
we were surprised that so many people accepted us and said, okay, yeah, these are like Germans in a way pretending to be Irish playing in England, and
Well, that's
they
the thing,
got
but
the
but it's like
history.
you're more honoring it. Like I dig it and I get it, and that's why this is the second time I've had you representing the band, but the band represented on my show because I do dig the band. And the music. I don't care who does it, but culturally, be like, would it be weird if like an Irish band started doing a German heritage song and then played over in Germany? Would people in Germany be like, wait a minute, you're Irish, but you're singing yay? You know what I'm saying? Like it's your life.
Yeah,
Or would they be
true.
like, yeah, that's cool because I get it. You're honoring something you dig. Or would it be like, what are you doing? Or to me, I'd almost think it'd be more like a generational, like like my parents would be like, what the heck? And then like me, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. And to be fair, most of the things that people think of first when they think of Germany as in terms of music or something like that is all from Bavaria, all this Oktoberfest stuff. Yeah, and I think most of the people just know Bavarian stuff.
If I think of music in Germany, I would think of the Hooters because Germany's been very good to the Hooters. Um, like type of like rom seam industrial, KMFDM, techno, more stuff like that,
Yeah.
and then and a bunch of rock bands, of course, and metal bands. But yeah, this is one of the few bands I think of when I don't think of folk Celtic. You're the only band I can think of that I know out of Germany that does that. You know, it's good though. I think I'm glad you guys are still growing as a band too. Are you still seeing the numbers grow each year with the music? It's been kind of weird for music though. I gotta be honest. I mean, with COVID and touring, and there's a lot going on in the world right now with shifting of countries and battles and stuff. And it can be challenging for an artist.
It is challenging, yeah. I fully agree, but we're still growing. The numbers are still climbing. There are some slight decreases in streaming after the lockdown COVID stuff, but it's naturally because people they were locked in
Right.
and had to listen to music. They couldn't go to concerts. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, but as you said,
I mean, it happened to
it's
my show too.
yeah.
You know, it happens.
Um, yeah.
I think everybody, everyone outside for a minute once they could. So,
So yeah, but it's still. I mean, we can be just be grateful, because so many artists don't sell that many tickets anymore because
mhm.
there's this huge gap for I would say like bands of our or a bit smaller than us because there are this huge events like Taylor Swift and there are these small
Mhm.
underground club shows, and many venues had to close because of or
Yeah,
to shut down because of COVID. And so the venues, the amount is shrinking, and but bands still have to book shows, and it got more expensive. Traveling got more expensive. Da da da. But
yeah, I do.
still
But
holding
you're
up,
holding
and
strong. You're still holding strong, and I'm glad. I
yeah,
mean, I think the clubs. I think as time goes on, things are probably going to grow again. Businesses. But the fact that your band, what is it? So like as for songwriting, what is the process with you guys? Is it each? Do people bring in different songs? Is it like what, seven of you guys? Is it seven people in the band or something? I don't even know how
seven.
many people in the
So
band. Yeah. Is everybody bringing different pieces, or is it just a couple core songwriters and everybody gets in there and kind of puts their parts in?
um, it really it depends. When I joined the band, it was and I was filling in for Sean. It was more in the tradition of the band that he used to write songs just with Dwight, and so I
Yeah,
started writing with Dwight, and he mostly brings up the lyrics. But I was like, okay, I have a bunch of unfinished songs, and I
yeah.
I always I used to always I don't know, as I said, it's really it depends. Sometimes I just have like a catchphrase or a hook phrase or some words that I just like
Hmm.
or some quotes that I read. Then I can kind of simultaneously hear the music in my head or some I have a faint idea of what it could sound like and
Yeah,
all composition and yeah, it's funny that you get into this topic because last weekend we've been at the studio, and for the first time we all wrote together or we were working together on songs. And so for the first time it
oh,
was
nice.
Connor, our guitar player. He has his number one band of all time is Iron Maiden, and he wrote a song, the music. And you
Yeah,
can you can hear like this Maiden guitar in it, and we were all like, yeah, okay,
yeah.
that's challenging. Let's switch it into a Celtic punk song, and yeah, and so
That's
we
cool.
worked in small teams, and Tom, our bass player, he wrote three or four amazing songs, really, and it really it was surprisingly good for a bass player. No, it was great stuff, and
I know. I get
Mia,
it.
our fiddle player, she had brought up some lyrics there that are really really cool, which I want to work
Yeah,
on. We haven't had the time yet on this last weekend, so I mean, next year it's our 15th anniversary in the band,
yeah.
and I would love to do a record with as many influences that coined the band as possible. So I'm really excited for the next songwriting session. And of course, I told the band beforehand that if you really want to be a songwriter, you always have to have your notebook or your app. Nowadays, it's mostly an app.
Yeah,
Which is not that romantic, but it's more handy. And you have
yeah,
to, you have an idea, or a melody in your head, you have to record it. And I have this one example um, when I was on a flight, and I had this melody in my head, I knew that I will forget it as soon as we have the landing finished. And so I went
yeah.
the onto the bathroom and I was just singing it into my smartphone and yeah, so something like that. You have to be ready for the next
Right.
song.
I would forget it. I forget things all the time. You tell yourself you're going to remember something, and then you forget it. I
Yeah,
I think it's well, as you mentioned that, it made me think about like with Sean, those guys being more the direct, also songwriters. So with him leaving the band, it feels like not just you just lose a singer, you lost the main point of the song, the group, a big thing because the songwriting was the band was was it just did you take everything with him? Was what's the band going to be like? So coming back in and not having that change, being able to do it with you be able to come in and write and match and do as good easily as well. I would even maybe even better on some parts, but also the band being able to start writing too. It's got to feel kind of good, like because you're more involved and you feel like you have more control of your future, and it's healthier. You know what I'm saying? Like if people can at least say something, they don't have to write all the songs, but man, if someone gets some feedback into the album that they're performing on, and not just being a player, it helps. The mentality and the healthiness of a band in the long run. I think.
yeah, I would agree. Yeah,
It's gonna play out better. Unless the members just don't want to do anything, they just want to perform. Because some bands have those guys too. So it's just like, nope, they write the songs, we just go on tour and do our tour stuff. That's it. And then this band is just everyone has their different jobs, but it feels like a lot of the bands I talked to, and I've talked to hundreds at all different levels. Once again, more European bands are going towards more group writing. If it already hadn't
really,
do that, yeah. And also what they'll do is they'll all come in and they'll have a producer that's been with the band they trust, who's says, you know what, good song, good song, good song. It's not political, and you know what I mean. And then let's work on it, or they kind of divvy it that way. So it's kind of a little more even, not like because everyone's played with songwriting and all that stuff too. So it makes it a little more even that way. And less jealousy, less whatever in the band. You know what I mean? Which makes a healthier
yeah,
road trip, a healthier group. Because you want to have fun too. You got to be creative. You don't want to make it a total chore where you're fighting and you're happy on stage for a little bit. You guys have done some crazy shows though too. You got walking and stuff like. So I imagine you guys do really well with being on the bill with like other rock and other metal bands. I think it will maybe even better because you're different, and rock audiences love something different. Is it maybe noticeable difference when you're with different bands? Is that more of the same genre bands on stage,
mm,
or
uh,
same?
I would say when we play at punk festivals or metal festivals, we're always in a way
Yeah,
this the softest on the bill, but
really.
this year we played like a more traditional folk festival, and we were headliners, and
Oh, that's pretty cool.
it was cool, but it was yeah, we were the hardest band in a way. Like we were with the only one with electric guitars, and to some
So you're
older
like on the
older
outside, no
people.
matter what. You're either too heavy or you're too soft.
Yeah, it's always in between. I don't know, but on those festival it was um our sound engineer, our lighting engineer, he told me after the show that when we played the first chord, you know, there were three or two people just doing this, just because, because they weren't used to it, but it was all right.
That's
So, but actually, I think we are better fit for all this more rocky festivals in a way. because we just blend in better. And as you said, they are
Right.
always excited for some difference.
Different.
Yeah,
And rock audiences, I think, also love music and musical and musicians, and they're very open to all types of music. So you have a lot of different instrumentation and songwriting things on your in your band that's different. It's not all the same instruments that every other band's gonna have on that, that day. Very few people are gonna have, fiddle for that or mandolin. Some bands will. My point is, so it's kind of nice to see that and they appreciate other artists playing different music and other instruments, you know. Um, Moving forward though with the band, like what do you guys look at? Do you guys have like a goal? It's like we do a tour, we get our tour booked out, we do, you know, because some bands like play on a tour and they have like an album space, tour album. Some bands kind of just put it out there and tour a lot. And when they have a window and a bunch of songs, they book time for a tour. What's it like in the world of,
I would say we can all agree on one thing that I mean we all have to work still part
yep.
time. So making a living of it would be really amazing. Would be like the main goal. It's what we all are fighting for. And
Hopefully you will, because you deserve it. You're a good
thank you
band.
so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. But I would say for the next year we have a nice tour coming up,
Mhm.
and we want to, of course, we want to see it selling out. But yeah, in some cities we move to bigger venues, so I think we're
Mhm.
not selling it out, so not the whole tour. But
But a bigger venue is more people still.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
So,
It's about growth and investment in the town and coming back the next time. You want to build your
exactly.
audience. You want to be, I think one thing like a lot of bands, like I know in the US, like like they call legacy rock or whatever. But the truth is, those bands have worked, and toured, whether it be clubs, different sizes, opening, not opening, headline. You know what I'm saying? But they kept building out their audience, and now when they come through, they have a stock audience no matter what they do, whether an album or not, and they don't have to do anything else. They can just tour and record when they want, and touring is their income. You know, and a lot of these bands had to take a break too. During the '90s or whatever, during grunge, a lot of those guys got jobs. So it came full circle back to them again because of the investment back in the people again. And that's my hope for a band like yours to get enough of an audience. When you come in town, it's like, oh, chalk off that night, going to the show, going to buy some shirts. New album coming out. Um, there are a lot of bands. I just say I think 50% of the bands now do still have to work part-time work or have side things, or they travel. They're booking agents, they're real estate people. You know, online work, graphic designers. So they can do work on the bus on their computer. It's very common. You know,
Yeah, yeah, that's a nice thing to do. That I mean, it's still what people forget about all the fun you have on tour is that you're still, of course, exhausted and you are still doing a job and working part time
Mhm.
simultaneously while being on tour. I did this for sometimes because I didn't want to, yeah, I didn't want to waste any any off days in my like regular work
Right.
as an employee, and then I work as a video editor, so I can do it basically. I just need a
Yep.
laptop on that side. Yeah. But
There you go.
yeah,
See?
but it's like it's really exhausting. I mean, between like 8 hours work on the one day and still doing sound check and the gig, of course. This is kind of exhausting.
Well, editing is a tiring job. I don't think people think just sitting in front of computers are really editing. I'm just go for audio and editing and for video and also audio. And yeah, you spend a full day editing, whether it's actually sound or video, you're tired. Your eyes
Yeah,
are
you
fatigued,
are.
your ears are fatigued. It's not just like typing in, watching videos all day. It's a lot, you know.
Absolutely.
And then to go back on and be creative because you got to. So really, you're wearing two different hats. You got to be creative for whatever you're editing in that world,
True.
and then you got to turn on, be a totally different person as an entertainer to how many, hundreds or hundred, couple hundred, thousand, like whatever, thousands, whatever size crowd it is. Every night, I'm sure it's different. You still got to bring 100% no matter how many people are there, how big or small. but then the next day you're back to editing.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's good. I think it's good you have that job you can take on the road with you, though. At least that allows you a lot more flexibility.
exactly. Yeah.
That's excellent. Do you still write stuff on your own too? Do you have some stuff like you'll put aside for yourself that wouldn't be Paddy hats, or would you say, I just throw it all out there right now because that's the main focus? And I only say because some artists write so much music that just actually an overflow, even for the band, and they're like, just give us the stuff you think is going to work for us, and then also for work, they'll be like, you could do other solo stuff. You know what I mean, acoustic gigs for money. I mean, a lot of bands do that also. Do you have that kind of thing for you?
Um, I have another band, and it's pretty simple for me to figure out which song is for what band because the one band is singing in German. It's like a German punk band. So it's really
Okay,
easy for me, and
it's really night and day then, huh? It's really.
yeah.
I don't know any German. I was going to make a German phrase to say kind of cut and thing. Your English is so good. Like I wouldn't even know. Like it's really good. I want to compliment you on that. I mean, I don't think people realize, especially from America, that how hard it is to learn another language and speak it so well. That's something we usually do. So that's fantastic.
Yeah,
Um,
but to be fair, German is way harder than English. I mean, it simply is, absolutely.
it it is. You always find like when I speak to somebody from Germany, they're usually the least silly. Now, it could be because
Really?
musically, I mean, you can correct me. That's why I'm not going to ask you. That's the best part of my show. It's just culture. I talk to everybody now from all over the world. But it seems like maybe, I don't know if it's because you're just focused because of the music conversation, but they're very, very serious. Do you feel like the seriousness just carries over because it's music or just work is work seriousness? Or it's just, I've just got bunch of just, very serious people because you seem more laid back than most people I talk to from Germany. It's usually very, to the point. And it's not an insult. It's just, some people don't like goofy. So, it's just, it's definitely a difference that I've noticed in the past couple German artists I've spoken to lately. It's usually very um, serious.
Oh, that's interesting because it's such a cliche, this whole German efficiency thing,
Right.
and always being on time and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I think maybe I think yeah, I really I always love to improve my English, so I'm always still working on yeah, being better at speaking English, but talking in English. But yeah, I think maybe just maybe there are some people, and it's not their mother tongue, so they're more
Ah,
focused
you're right.
answering your questions. Maybe this could be,
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Not getting into certain things because they're just, I
but
mean, their
on
English is
the
so
other
good.
hand,
It's probably still better than mine. I know there's like a lot of cliches about America, and like, feel free to ask because I'm like, some things aren't, not everything is like that. Half of America is like one way, now half is the other way, what
yeah.
you see. Not everyone's all one way. Um, but it's good to know. I think that's a good point right there. I don't take the cliches like, oh, Germany's this way or Italy's this way, Ireland's this way. It's just interesting, like personalities talking to people. I'm like, is it just a much more a serious nature right now in the music business? Say, in Germany and over in Europe, because what I mean, it's still work. You got to focus. Actually, the thing about it is other European people I talk to, they're also a little more serious too.
Mm, I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe.
I have to think about that. I need to make like a graph and figure out what the difference is. And maybe there were just goofballs over in America is what it turns out. And everyone else is just grown ups. I don't know.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, it's I do not really get why because I mean we're talking about a, th a thing we love. We're talking about music,
Yeah.
so why isn't that fun? I think
I I think the
so.
language
Yeah,
thing is a point though. I do think that maybe their English, as I think about it, some is not as sharp as yours, and probably as flexible in other terms, maybe. So maybe they are sticking to their comfort level, and they don't want to say anything wrong and be embarrassed or look wrong. Which
could be
I mean,
could be a thing. Another explanation would be that I worked as a journalist, as a music journalist, for a long time, and so I always think of yeah. I'm not sure if the journalist or the host if
mhm,
they need it, but I always like to give a little bit more of a story, you know. So
yeah.
and not just answering by yeah, you're right, or no, it's not that way, or something like that. So
Right.
I always want to do more stories, which makes it easier for the one who's hosting.
I just think it's more interesting. I mean, I started the show based on what I wasn't seeing. I already had the background, but I wanted to promote bands that I liked, and I wanted to talk to artists. So like when you're in the car and it's a podcast also, not just on YouTube, and you're driving along and people listen, like say people listening right now, they're like, oh, you know what? I mean, this is what Paddy's talking about. This is this real life. He's doing this. He's doing video. Like it's not just when you pick up a guitar. Like, those things come organically into the conversation, and you talk about albums. There's topics you want to weave in and out of. But a fun conversation, I think, is allowing the artist to share what they're about. So you kind of get where the creativity comes from, what they're thinking. You know what I mean? So I think to me, that's why I think it's way more fun having a conversation more
Yeah,
like this.
it is, yeah.
Um, because you can relate more. I think a band like yours relates to the audience. The videos you have. Once again, well, as we get to rounding this up, I do want to give back your rest of your day and thank you for your time. The videos. Now he was also a video guy himself, good video guy. So the
Cool.
videos came out of the beginning. So this is a band that came out of the gate with a solid sound. Once it got production, everything, solid videos. Like everything was like perfect coming out put together. It'd be like what do they call like an industry cottage industry job, like it's like a latchkey building, thing where a big company wants to come in and take it over because like you guys have everything already together in house. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
well, it would be, and not only vocally you come in and fill those shoes just as well. Like I said, or arguably better depends on if it's an old time person that you like that voice or this voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love your voice, but also the videos have kept the same feeling. Each one is different, like the other ones were. They're not like the same, but that same energy, the same high quality. Like you don't think anything's changed, besides seeing a different person. A guy with a beard and a guy without a beard who was there before, in different voices. I mean, but a lot of the things that you grow to love about this band is are there. The production on sound and the video production of videos. Was that conscious to kind of keep it the same, or is it just how the band does things at this point? Like,
Mm, of course, Sean is a great video guy,
right?
and I'm a decent video editor, but yeah, we that was it's yeah, it's interesting that you're saying that because we never thought about it because we when Sean was working on videos for Paddyhats, he used to work with some colleagues, and we are still working with them. So it's more or
Okay.
less the same look in a way.
Yep.
And but maybe on this yeah concerning videos, it's more a bit more costly for us because
Yeah.
we don't have it as you said like in-house, but we
Yeah.
still have the connections and
Well,
nowadays
it's better than most bands though at your level. Your
thank
bands are
you.
way, yeah. I mean, they're way. The quality is like up there with every other band. I mean, I know because I've actually edited small things and done lyric videos for some bands that couldn't afford it. You know what I mean? So just to help them out, just for free, just to do things small, small. So I've seen all levels. So when I see video production like that, and it didn't change, it could have been another dip. It could have been a whole new look. It could have gone out the window. But or like you guys didn't think about it, you guys keep moving forward. But that's the question. Somebody from me who's seeing from the outside saying, "Wow, somebody that was in charge and did a lot of this stuff is gone now." But you don't really feel like it's a huge difference. That's a lot for everybody to kind of come up and do. You know, it says a
I
lot
think that's
for you and the band.
absolutely. And that's I think it's the best thing for everyone that it looks like it's seamlessly just continues
Hmm.
to be on the same level or maybe even better because we
Yeah,
grow, you know. And but nowadays it's more when you have a release and you have to produce all of these short form videos like 30 or something like that. It's a great opportunity. it's nerve-wracking, but it's a great opportunity to get your music out there on Instagram, TikTok, whatever, all
Right,
the socials. And I think, yeah, that's of course that's not on the same level as our music videos because
right,
that's a nice thing to do. You can just do it with your cell phone, and that's it, with your smartphone.
right,
So, but on the other hand, you have to be more of a creator nowadays as a musician, or you can be old enough and big enough in a band so you don't care at all and you just put your mu music out there like many artists do. But I think you can't afford it as a band like us. We still have to grow and
right.
therefore we have to play this game.
Even I think even the big people know what they want in the video. They just hire some people to do it, to do their
Yeah,
vision for them. That's the difference. Is you're still doing your own vision. You get your hands in it still, but it's still the quality. When most artists do that part, that's where it usually falls short, and it hurts the music because people are like, oh, or if an old fan comes on, like me, I hadn't seen it first, and I caught part of the video. I'm like, wait a minute, because there was no change in the video. It's only when I saw you, I heard the band, I went back, heard the album, all that, or at the same time, I'm like, oh, what's going on here? Then I went back and looked because sometimes I just listen to music. I'm not always looking for, big shakeups or always the websites. So, to me, that was a good thing. Um, Website probably best place for tour information and album information, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. I'll put the link under YouTube and on all the streaming sites also to check you
Perfect.
out, support you guys. Thank you. Any shows coming up? Any albums planned or singles or anything you want to get people to look out for?
Yeah, we just I think last week our last single dropped. It's called Paint the Town Green.
Yep.
It's a bit um yeah, we put the Irish thing up a notch, and we we have like one of the simplest lyrics in the chorus. Yeah, you have to
It's good.
go
It's
and
good.
listen. It's really funny.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Um,
Okay, love it.
yeah, I've heard both all the stuff. I want to just wonder if anything else going on. Have any shows coming up?
Um, Yeah, we have still some shows left for this year. I think next week we have a club show in Bremen in northern part of Germany, and the last festival I reckon for this year. It's funny because it has a Spanish name. It's called Gringo de Fiesta. It's like I don't know. It's kind of Mexican themed. I've never played there, but I'm excited.
Which totally makes sense. The German Celtic Irish
Yeah,
band
yeah,
playing
makes
with
sense. Absolutely. I'm
it's
looking
actually
forward
kind of
to it.
awesome. But if you think about it, how awesome is that culturally? Everybody can
Yeah,
celebrate everything together. I mean, that's kind of like the goal of like the world, really, what it should be is everybody getting together, you know?
absolutely. Like St.
But it
Patrick's
still
Day
sounds
is
kind of funny when you say
tomorrow,
it, though. You
Um,
know,
and this year we play in club shows in Prague and Vienna, and I think that's about it. Yeah.
okay.
So back to the
Well, I
studio.
want I want to encourage people that haven't heard of you to check you out, support you guys, music, shows, merch, follow you guys on all your socials are linked to the website. So that's just the mother base for everything. Just if we start there, and work out. And hopefully we can talk again, maybe next album or tour or something down the road next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like to catch up again and it'd be great to see you guys sometimes actually over in the US at some point. Things are kind of crazy here right now if you haven't been watching the news. But there might be a
Yeah,
point where things calm down that it's easy for bands and people to come back over. You know, we'd love it.
yeah. Fingers crossed that it's gonna be soon, more
Sooner
soon
than
than
later. Yeah, right.
later.
All right, man. Thank you for being on the show. I appreciate you taking the
Oh,
time. Thank you. You take care. Have a good day.
you
Bye
too.
bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.